lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Why did this one come on? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Now I've got the right one. Welcome to another episode of the Late Night NWO with your boy Bashar and Beto. It's only two of us tonight. The other two, they're not feeling well. One is not feeling well. The other one's having technical difficulties. So me and my boy Bashar, we're gonna run this ourselves. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Doing awesome. I don't know how I look on your screen, but on my end, I'm looking really, really blurry. But if I look good on your end, we're good.
No,
we're
you're
set.
clear.
I hope I sound good.
No, you sound good and look good.
Cool. Yeah. On my end, when I'm watching through the click to join screen, it's just everything's blurry, but it's all good. I think I did this last time too. But great to be on here, man. Aside from that, great to be on here. I'm here to talk to Niners and here to just have a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, it's I gotta figure that out. No, but you're looking good and sounding good. What's up, Luis Moreno? Welcome. We got Maverick popping in. Thank you guys for popping in. I know this is a quick, late notice. Normally we go on at 6, but we were having some issues that we kind of ironed out. But we're going to talk football, man. We're going to talk 49er football. I know that a lot of us have talked about the things that have been happening. The rookies all signed. They had rookie mini camp. Some players stand out more than others. There's a particular running back that people are talking about. Undrafted free agent, people are talking about. There's a receiver that is no taller than 3 feet. No, he's a little bit taller, but he comes from the Seattle Dragons, the XFL, and the kid looks really good. Will he make the lineup of all these receivers we have? Probably not. But hey, if he goes into practice, into the OTAs and minicamp and shows out, you never know. Any of those, I'm trying to think of their name, but you heard of the receiver, right? The kid that came from
Jark. If I'm saying his name right, Jarcour Pearson.
Yeah, I heard he has a lot of speed. He's a good catcher.
Yeah, they actually showed his clips from the minicamp where he burned 2 guys, and one of them he had some crazy separation on. And he's saying, "Hey, I wanna play in the NFL." And I mean, it's hard to make this Niner team, and I get it. And we still drafted Danny Gray last year, and who knows what he's going to do in his second year. But it's going to be interesting. He could be a guy that they protect on the practice squad, and just play it out. And if somebody gets hurt, he could step up. Who knows? He might shine in the preseason, and then we may never see him ever again. So it's all a mystery with these Niner players and how they ever end up panning out. But so far, so good. He's looking like a poor man's Tyreek Hill from what they're saying in practice. So, hey, you can't complain. For a guy that we're just getting on the cheap.
Yeah. People say you don't win championships in May, which I understand. You bring in these rookies, you bring this undrafted free agents, and you kind of see what you got. But listen, nobody thought that Jordan Mason, as an undrafted free agent, was going to make the team. They figured the best case scenario, they cut him, and hopefully they bring him back to the practice squad, hide him in the practice squad. But he impressed so well that he actually made the team. So I never past anyone not making the team if they impress. And this is why May is so exciting, because the unknown is here. These kids that nobody knows about has an opportunity to make an impact, if not for the 49ers, for another team out there. You put your resume, you put your best foot forward, and hopefully you impress Shanahan. And then at least if you don't, you put tape that people can look at, and maybe they can give you a phone call. So this kid, he's 5'7", I believe, maybe 5'8", but he's very good with the ball. He you use him in the slot, you can use him outside. He's impressive. But we have so many receivers, bro, that can you actually? I don't care how good he does. Do you still see him making a squad? Because what did we have? 5 receivers last year. if he makes the squad, who would he knock out?
Probably Ray McLeod. I'm saying that's probably one to think of him. He'd really have to make a good case for himself if he does do that. And I was trying to see what he did at Ole Miss. I think he played 1 year at Ole Miss. He transferred out. So I mean, it's not like he blew it up at Ole Miss and had him put up amazing stats. I mean, he played 10 games, had 26 receptions, 392 yards, and he did well in the short sample size. But he didn't have any touchdowns when he was at Ole Miss. And keep in mind, Ole Miss gets all the top recruits. They had Jonathan Mingo, a wide receiver who I really liked and who I coveted. So, prior to that, he played at Western Kentucky, and his best year there was 804 yards and 7 touchdowns off of 10.6 yards per catch. So it's just weird. I mean, but yet he's the leading receiver in the XFL. I believe it was like 86 catches and 684 catches, 670 yards. 4 TDs, and they said, in early in camp, he's blowing by everybody and doing his thing. So you never know. Some people are just sneaky, and they may not be dominant players, and it may take them a while for them to come out their shell. And this guy could be a late bloomer for all we know.
Exactly. I just want to say hi to Don that is popping in. What's up, Don? Roberto Hastings popped in. What's up, brother? Dina Harvey. Matter of fact, Dina Harvey is going to be on the show, I believe, tomorrow. It's feature the women of the empire.
I heard about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the one that's leading it is Tony Bryant, Bryant's Cope husband. Wife.
Tony Cope.
Yeah, Tony Cope's wife. Today's one of those days, by the way, everyone. So if I screw up, bear with me and have mercy. I had my treatment today, so
that's why I'm here, Beto.
I appreciate, yes. That's why I got my wingman here. And then if anybody knows about wingman, it's Mr. Maverick with the name Maverick from Top Gun. He knows what a wingman is. He says, Gray never planned out. Unfortunately, Ray, not a good returner. All we have is Debo, and he's healthy. Plus Jennings is a beast, so good pickup. Hopefully we come out guns blazing, son. Let's go,
baby.
Level it up, baby. Level it
Mario
up.
Brother, little Mario Brothers there, huh?
Yeah, I love Mario Brothers, as you can tell.
You saw the movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, I watched it on my phone.
Oh, you watched it, but when you watched it on your phone, did you project it to your TV at least?
Yes.
Or you just had it on your phone?
Yes. I have I hook it up to my projector and I put it on my wall, and it's
that's cool. You have one of those. But I'm saying, like, how the smartphone has the feature where you can link it to the
You
TV
can do it for the TV, yeah. But I like the projector. Kind of.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes we go and do it outside, so it's kind of cool.
And Joey got offended because somebody spoke on Danny Gray. I see his other comment.
Yeah, if anybody likes receivers, it's este vato right here.
He told me about Danny Gray way before we drafted him, for the record. He told me about Brandon Ayuk way before we drafted him. He told me about D. Winters way before we drafted on him. So that's 3 Niner players that he hyped up that we picked.
Yep. So this is what Mahoney is to me, bro.
One man, one camera, one mission.
One man, one camera, one mission.
Gotta love that.
That's Joseph Mahoney for you, man. He's a badass.
Hey.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah! I'm messing around.
It always cracks me up when you're making those little sound effects.
Oh yeah, you gotta have fun, bro.
I do that too sometimes on my show, but it's fun.
I just gotta write these names a little bit bigger.
Yeah, right? See, for you, it just, for me, it's not a physical soundboard. It's literally, it's an on-screen one, and it already has the names for each sounds. But the messy thing about it is I got to go to one tab and click over to the next tab to click on it, and it's kind of hard to do things on the fly. But yeah, Joey's saying, don't you dare speak down on Danny Gray. He's going to be good. I hope he is. I really, really hope he is. We all got excited when he got that huge touchdown from Trey Lance in the preseason. And then we expected to see things from him in the regular season, and he was not to be seen. I don't know if Coach Kyle was giving Danny Gray that tough love. Supposedly Danny Gray had to work on his blocking, and I was going to mention Pearson either. Like, maybe we don't ever see Pearson if he doesn't pick up on the things that Kyle needs people to pick up on. Case in point, blocking is really big on that. So who knows?
Yeah, and since we have put it in mind that, sometimes he gets a little happy with the F-bomb, so we have to make
The
sure.
following moments may contain explicit language.
So we got to be careful with him.
You know what? When I had Barry Baller on the other night, I was telling him, oh, by the way, Beto, let me just formally do this because there was a lot of back and forth and there were a lot of emotions and there were a lot of heated conversations and a lot of stuff. But as a friend to you and other friends of mine that are Niner fans, pains me to say it. It really does, but I have to do it. Congratulations to your Lakers for beating my Warriors. There you go.
You know why?
Thug Life Certified.
Thug Life Certified. Oh, no, that's not us. That's what's the name from the Grizzlies? And his guns.
John Morant.
Yeah, moron.
Yeah, I sent you something in the on the little chat thing too. I'm not sure if
But
you
I
saw it.
appreciate that, bro. Thank you for giving that. I appreciate that, man. Your Warriors are. I believe that if we can keep the group core together, can make this whole year was off, kind of ever since the punch. I'll tell you one thing. Whoever leaked, I'm not even mad that Green Punch pull. That shit happens all the time. If you ever played in any sports, you're going to get in confrontationals with your teammates and you make it up and you take care of whatever. You're at the heat of the moment. But whoever leaked it was weak. Leaking
Well,
that
Michael
out.
Jordan fought Steve Kerr. When Steve Kerr was on the Bulls. What's his name? Isaiah Thomas fought numerous teammates. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying, and I hated it when I saw it, but yeah, that guy.
But
this,
it happens,
this is
though.
nothing new. It's happened before. Just nobody ever leaked it before.
Yeah, but back in the day with Jordan and Magic, there was no social media. You know what I mean? So it's either you carried a big ass camera with film in it. Who really carried cameras with film unless you were going to an amusement park or going on vacation? You don't carry those type of cameras with you. Now it's on your phone, and now it's 4K video. So people are always recording. But again, was it right by Draymond Green? No. But we don't know the whole story. We don't know and things get blown out of proportion.
So
Don't-
you do not report shit that happens in the locker, you bunch of little pussies?
Yeah, you don't do that, man. you don't that because that's not cool. So you know what? Whoever reported it,
You suck.
you suck.
I sent
And
you a little private. I sent you a little private
You're
message. by the way.
fired.
that's it.
I was gonna say the reason why I brought the basketball thing was because you mentioned that when I'm on the show I cuss a lot or whatever. And for those of you who have those virgin ears, I apologize. But I was
I'm
saying
ready
I was,
for you.
Oh, you are. You got the finger on the trigger. I know.
Yeah, bro.
I was on with Barry Baller, had him on my channel, and we did a thing where it was on his channel as well. And I was telling him before we started, let's not get too deep into this Lakers, the Warriors talk because it's over with, and I don't want to sit here and cuss. on
Easier
the
said
show
than
or-
done, huh?
Well, I was telling him I didn't want to cuss, right? But we did talk about it a little when the show started, but it was calm and it was whatever, and we moved on from it. But towards the end of the show, the quarterback conversation came up, and here I am slipping and dropping all kinds of F-bombs that I thought I would have dropped. So it happens, man. If you're watching one of my shows, it may happen. Just saying.
That's right.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
So make sure you
I keep
like
telling you to
and
check that
subscribe.
message I sent you. You haven't checked it yet, I don't think.
No, I'm on.
Okay.
You said to. Oh, it's right in front of me.
Yes, it is. And Joey said,
Vato.
Joey says, how much blocking, and Joey Mahoney's in the chat, says, how much blocking do you expect Pearson to really do when he's only 5'7"? Well, it's all about the heart.
He can block your
Blocking,
balls.
it's a mentality. There's a mentality behind it. There's a heart. There's technique. There's
Yes.
way more technique involved in blocking. People think it's not like you just put out a huge 6'5", 450-pound motherfucker out there. Sorry, guys, and just say, hey, go block
Sorry,
somebody.
literally.
It's not all about, if you play football, it's not all about how big or how strong somebody is. There's so much technique involved. There's so much determination and mentality behind it. There's a lot of things behind it. So if he's not willing to put himself out there and all the other receivers are putting themselves out there to try to block, he's not going to be out in the field. That's how Shanny is. And that's how a lot of other NFL coaches are. So it's just how the NFL works, you know? And if they just throw him out there, like in a package where, hey, it's 4 wide receivers, hey, go deep. I mean, it's going to be predictable. Obviously, they're going to know. But if third and 58 or whatever, they're going to know it's a deep pass. But and then again, they don't want to be as predictable as other teams, where it's just, hey, we're just going to throw them out there on non-running plays, and they're going to know right away it's a pass. You know.
Yep. Real quick, I just want to say welcome to Jess from East Coast Red and Gold Podcast. She is now one of my co-hosts on Friday nights. We started a new talk, 49er Talk. We named it Niners Now with Beto and Jess. We come on at, I know I changed the time, don't mess it up, 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 o'clock Eastern every Friday. So come and check out me and Jess do our thing and support. It'll be here on the Niners Sickness Podcast. As we grow our channel, as people get familiar with us, we may branch out and create our own YouTube under the name of Niners Now. But for now, you'll find us on the Niners Sickness Podcast. Welcome, Jess.
What up, Jess? I had fun being on with Jess and Niner Sickness on the Niner Sickness channel, and they hosted every hour of the draft, day 1, 2, and 3. And you guys were gracious enough to give me the leeway to jump on whenever I wanted. So I did join you guys on days 2 and 3. And every time the Niners made a pick, I was there. And on the videos for, if you go back, I'm not sure if I did it for both day 2 and 3. For one of the days I did it at least. I put timestamps on the video itself in the comment section. And if you click the timestamp, it takes you right to the point where we're saying, oh, wow, the 49ers just moved up. Or you click on the other timestamp and it says Niners drafted Jake Moody, or the other timestamp says we drafted Cameron Latou. So you can see those timestamps of the video. So you don't have, if you don't want to sit and watch 3 hours worth of video, just want to see those moments, you can go back to Beto's videos and check them out. It was a lot of fun, by the way.
Yeah, sure was, man.
And I was being Debbie Downer on those. I went back and watched. I was like, dang, man. I'm a little bit more positive about it now, but I wasn't too happy. My initial organic reaction wasn't exactly the most positive. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But hey, I appreciate you jumping on there, bro, and kicking it with you. But yeah, Jess is a trooper, man. She lasted all 3 days. I believe the first day was 4.5 hours. Second day was 4.5 hours. And then the last day was almost 8 hours, 40 minutes. So she had to put up with me. And I asked her if she wanted to be my co-host, and she accepted. I thought that she would have had enough of me for those 3 days and said, forget it. I ain't hanging out with this dude.
Hey, that says a lot about the woman. It says a lot about her.
Yeah. She can put up with me. She's going to give my wife competition, man. Now I have 2 women that are going to keep me on my toes. One at home and one on the show. So we're good. What's up, Bob Jones? How you doing, brother? Welcome. NWO for life. Hey, real quick, guys.
This is my pinchy soundboard, and then if you don't like it, you're fired.
You're fired.
Orale. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I love collabing with this guy. He's hilarious.
I love to have fun, bro. A lot of people think that sound bites are too, like, people don't like it, but I love it. I enjoy it. I think it's, to me, doing shows, talking about the 49ers, talking about things that are happening with the Niners are great, but there's so many content creators. There's so many things that I'm pretty sure everyone has heard and it's up to date with what's happening. So if you can be entertaining and have fun talking about the Niners and be a little bit different, why not, man? Because we all know about the rookies. We all know about the rookie camps. We all know, so we're going to say it again, but if we can fool around and have fun, why not? That's just my thing.
And back to the wide receivers. So we talk about Jacour Peterson, who's, the XFL leading receiver. There's also Ronnie Bell, a guy that we drafted out of Michigan. And early on in camp, he's been looking like a deep threat. They said he's been making circus catches. They said has legit NFL hands. Not really built like your typical NFL receiver, a little frail looking, but he looks like he's willing to make the great catch early on. He's opened up a lot of people's eyes.
Yep. Johnny Mahoney says we should have signed kicker Luis Aguilar instead of drafting a kicker in the 3rd round, laughing my ass off.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are okay with us.
You think you're funny, do ya?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know who Luis Aguilar is.
I don't know either. Apparently he's a kicker.
Yeah.
According to he's probably Danny Gray's best friend.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the record, a lot of great, really good kickers were undrafted. So Harbaugh, everybody, for those big time Harbaugh lovers out there, they're sure they're still out there. Harbaugh gave a huge endorsement for Jake Moody, so we'll see. Hopefully he pans out and becomes the best kicker in the league. Now that we have him, it's out of my control who we picked or whatever. Well, we have to ride with him. Hopefully he's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But man, I don't know about you, brother, but I can't wait for the start of the season. I think that we've always been so close on getting to the Super Bowl. I know a lot of us are hungry for trophy number 6. I enjoyed 05. You enjoyed some of them, but we haven't enjoyed them in a long time. And it's like the last one in '94 has already been so long that it's not. I don't have that feeling. When Stevie held the trophy and Jerry Rice kissed it or Young kissed it. I want to see that now. I like what's her name came on. I think she's cute and she's smart. But I can't think of her name. On Twitter, she wrote on there about how I think Kay Adams. She wrote on there about the 3 quarterbacks that we have.
Kay Adams, yep.
She watches a lot of the Niners Twitter, and so shout out to her for that. And she was saying that she sees all these arguments and fighting and bickering among one another about the quarterback. If you're a Trey Lance fan, or if you're a Sam Darnold fan, or if you're Brock Purdy, and if you're a Brock Purdy fan, you must hate Trey Lance, and if you love Trey Lance, you must hate Brock Purdy. It's like, why can't you love one and still want the second one or the third one to be successful? They're part of the red and gold. They're part of the San Francisco 49ers. And at the end of the day, bro, you may have your favorite quarterback, you may have your favorite player, and you want to root for them. You want to see them be successful. Nothing wrong with that. But don't you want your team to win? Don't you want your team to be successful no matter who it is? Now, hey, and Badger's been a big supporter of Trey Lance, huge supporter. I guarantee if we win the Super Bowl, Trey Lance, a quarterback, he'll be ecstatic. Because not only did we win the Super Bowl, correct me if I'm wrong, he'll be ecstatic because we won the Super Bowl, but then we won it with a quarterback that he supports. But I guarantee you that if it ain't him and Brock wins it, are you really? I mean, are you really going to be like, you know what? I can't celebrate the Super Bowl. We won it, but I can't celebrate it because my quarterback didn't win it. I know you're not going to do that, bro.
I would have protested the Super Bowl victory. No, never.
Exactly. Who cares who wins it?
With Mullins, if that would have miraculously ever happened, or CJ Beathard, for all I care.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you want your quarterback. You want to see Trey Lance for the reasons of why they gave up so much to get him. The potential's there. He has the greater ceiling. All these attributes that Trey Lance has, and you want him to be. I want him to be successful. And if he's the one that can lead the team to a Super Bowl, to the promised land, then so be it. Let Trey Lance go. Remember, Moses is the one that took the Israelites out of Egypt, right? But he wasn't the one that was able to take him into the promised land. Moses had to kind of stay out. So maybe it was Trey Lance, and maybe it's Brock time to put everybody into the problem. Who knows? But whoever it is, bro, I just want to support that quarterback. I love me some Trey, but I don't understand the hate for Sam Darnold or for Brock or even the hate for Trey. Like, and then some people have been getting into the race card, and I'm like, wow.
It's really bad on Twitter.
What's up, Chronicle? How you doing, brother? Good friend of mine. He's an awesome dude. He has his own channel. Make sure to follow his channel. Great down. What?
One man, one camera, one mission.
That's my brother. One camera, one man, one mission is to build his channel, man. So go make sure to support him. But yeah, bro, it's like, I want Trey. I think Trey, you know what, bro? I don't know. Maybe I'm in my feelings, but I got a feeling that Trey's really going to ball out, bro. I think he's going to come out firing and he's going to win these games and he's not going to look back. And I love Brock. But Trey's, again, if you get Brock at his best, everything, the best that Brock can give you, and you can get the best that Trey can give you, I'll still take Trey.
Trey should have the upper hand if you think about it. And what they said was early on in the phase 1, the little tiny OTA that they had where the quarterback showed up, Darnold and Trey, they said this is the best Trey has looked in regards to his release and his mechanics. So sure, real bullets weren't flying or anything like that, but that's very encouraging because he has put in the time and the work. And I don't know how anybody could crap or poop on Trey so damn much and say he sucks, he's terrible with all the crazy hard work he puts in. It's, if a first round guy comes out or a top 5 pick comes out, and I've seen plenty of these guys that were quarterbacks and they sucked and they ended up being bust, right? Okay, whatever. I guarantee you 95% of those guys didn't work as hard as Trey Lance is working right now because they definitely had the God-given talent. So Trey Lance has the God-given talent. Everybody knows that. He has the brains. He's a great guy on top of that. And he has the work ethic. Like all of that put together, and he's working even harder. Like his relatives, from what I heard, shout out to Raj. He kind of leaked this out for me and a few others. His relatives have a hard time getting a hold of him. They can't call him. Why isn't he answering his phone? That's how busy he is working on perfecting his craft.
That's good, bro.
Eventually, I think it will show on the field. And it sucks for Purdy that he got hurt. But then again, it sucked for Jimmy G when he got hurt, right? And Purdy stepped in. So this little crease, this little opening might be the door that might have opened the door for Trey Lance to show improvement and say, hey, guess what? I'm here. You guys swung for the fences to get me. And you guys did that for a reason. Here, I'll show you how and show you why. So this may be the final time that we have to worry about Trey Lance anymore. And he may lead us to the promised land, like you were saying with your Moses and your biblical references. And back to Kay Adams, I was going to say that she put out that tweet. It was a tweet that Kay Adams put out. It was a video of her talking about this 49ers quarterback situation. And I just found it kind of funny because Sersky, shout out to him from Real Talk Niner Talk on Twitter. He had this huge response for her, and she actually responded back to him. So I found that kind of comical. Yeah, if you go back and look at it, you'll find it.
Yeah, she follows the Niners, and I know there's a 49er contractor. I can't think of his name, but they used to work together. Back in the day when she first when nobody knew who Kay Adams was, and so she kind of follows the Niners because of him, and she sees all the madness, and she even said it. She likes all the craziness, she likes all that chaotic stuff that fans do about their team. But this fighting is like, listen, Brock showcased what he can do in 8 games. If Trey comes in and does what he does, and he's our quarterback of the future, and even if we can't keep Brock because Brock wants to play, he just became a high asset trade value. You got a 7th round pick there. You can get a first. You can easily get a first for Brock to trade him and down the line. I'm not saying this year or next year, but you know what I mean? Because he's so much potential. And so there's so many things you can build from here. I believe that our organization is smart to do that, man. I think Kyle Shanahan, but I'll say this. Do you get the impression when Kyle Shanahan talks about Brock that he's really in love with this kid? It's like he can't hold himself to talk about him.
I know he likes him. I can definitely tell he likes him. I don't know about really, really love, but I mean, I can obviously tell he likes him. Yeah.
But do you get that same feeling when he talks about Trey, though? Do you get the same?
I kind of get the same feeling about both, but maybe a little bit, obviously a bit more for Brock because Brock, he'll say that Brock played the games and won. So Brock has that advantage. But at the same time, it's not like we don't have the same sample size of Lance playing in all these games to compare. If Lance played in 8 games and sucked in more than half of them, it's no argument. It's no debate, but there's that whole unknown out there. But everybody thinks that they're God and they know everything and they know exactly what Trey would have done had he played all those games. And you can never look at it that way. I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense. But hey, we'll eventually find out who the best quarterback is. We want the best quarterback to play for this team. We'll find out who that guy is one way or another. Unless they just throw all their eggs in one basket with one guy and he totally sucks and ship off the other guy and that guy ends up being the next great quarterback. And that would really suck for this organization. But it's happened.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people have been praising Sam Darnold. And listen, if you love Sam Darnold, you hate him, or you think he's okay, or you think he sucks. At the end of the day, he was drafted the same spot that Trey Lance was, 3rd overall in the 1st round. He went to a shitty organization at the Jets at the time. He didn't get the I think he's been through a couple of offensive coordinators. He's been through his shit. I know that USC doesn't really produce as really good quarterbacks other than Carson Palmer, and even him. I guess the best quarterback, if you're honest, is the butt fumble guy, Mark Sanchez. because he went to a couple of he went up to the championship, I think, twice. But Sam Darnold, if he's able to produce, if he's able to do his thing, I'm here to support whoever wins the job. I want Trey. To me, it's Trey, Brock, then Sam Darnold. But at the end of the day, if Sam Darnold comes in here and does and works his ass off through OTAs, works his ass off to mini camp and plays good in preseason and comes in and is named the starter, why not support it? That's just me, though.
I mean, I like Darnold's skill set coming out of college. The problem now, Darnold was showing the ability to turn the ball over in college, and he's done it in the NFL. So, and reverse, Trey Lance completely protected the ball in college, did not turn it over. So, in terms of making that comparison, but they're both drafted really high. They're both mobile. They both have strong arms. They're bigger built quarterbacks. Now, Darnold, as in terms of when we signed him, I was like, okay, cool. I like this because what happened when when Purdy and Jimmy went down and Lance went down, we had Josh Johnson. I mean, anybody would take, regardless of how shaky Darnold's career has been so far, anybody would still take Darnold over Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson in a 14-year career did nothing. At least Darnold has a highlight reel of some pretty nice, good plays. Obviously you'd have to omit the bad plays, but he's got a highlight reel of some really, really nice throws, some nice throws on the runs and all that. So, on a good day, Darnold can look pretty good. I don't mind him being in the system at all, but I just think it's hilarious how some people, I've seen a lot of this on Twitter. Well, the people who hate on Lance so much and say Lance is garbage and he's trash. Yet you'd assume that these same people would, on another note, because they're saying that they're not being, they said, I'm not even going to say the R word. They're going to say that they don't hate Lance for non-football reasons. It's all about football. That's why they hate Lance. Well, Darnold gave you years of bad football prior to ever being signed on the Niners. And I'm pretty sure if those guys are consistent, they would have trashed Darnold way worse than they would trash Lance, because Darnold gives you a gigantic sample size of a horrible quarterback play. But all of a sudden he signs with the Niners. Darnold's way better than Lance.
Yeah.
Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, what world are we living in here, people? Come on now. So Kyle can't develop Lance. Lance is garbage. Lance just sucks. Kyle's a lost cause to develop Lance. But now Kyle can develop Darnold. I'm sorry, you're not selling me on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not trying to knock on Darnold. I'm just trying to make the comparison. Yeah,
no, I hear you, but I'm not a big fan of Sam Darnold, but to his defense, he hasn't really had good offensive coordinator like Shanahan. He hasn't had good offensive players as the Niners do. He hasn't really played, with a lot of good surrounding cast. This will be his opportunity to get a chance to play with the likes of Debo, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle at the tight end. McCaffrey's already familiar with McCaffrey, but McCaffrey wasn't enough over there. And yes, they had that receiver that was traded to the Bears, but that's just one receiver. I want to see what he can do. At the very least, see what he can do as a backup, so he can be a good backup if we have to move on from Brock, and if we move on from him, Sam Darnold can go get a job somewhere else. I don't think he's as bad as advertised, but if anybody can create a monster, it will be Kyle Shanahan. If Kyle Shanahan can't, what's the word I'm looking for? Give him birth again. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. We'll see. But let's move on.
By default, it's easily the best situation that Darnold's been in.
Yes.
If he can't make it with us, then he just can't make it. Period. What's up, Laura? Laura. She said Men in Black. I'm actually wearing a very dark navy. It looks like it's black, I guess. Dark navy shirt, but
you know what? Los vatos en negro ese.
I'm not. What topic did you want to jump to? Because I have something in mind to talk about.
We can
talk about it afterwards.
Let's talk safety, man. Let's talk about the safety that we brought in. Jair Brown. He's come in. He's looked really good as advertised. I know it's just rookie minicamp, but I think this kid is special, and I think the Niners found a gem on this guy. What are your thoughts on him?
So I was on live with you guys when we got Jair Brown, and remember,
That's right.
And like
Oh,
I
that's
said,
right,
you
that's
can go
right.
back and watch the Niner Sickness draft day videos. I have the timestamp for it. It says, click on the timestamp. It takes you to when the 49ers traded up to that pick. And if you see me on there pounding the table for DeJuan Jones, because that was one of my draft crushes for offensive line. I want to protect the quarterbacks. I want a strong, powerful offensive line, the same way the Philadelphia Eagles have a strong, powerful offensive line. But we didn't get my guy. But hey, you and Don were excited that we got Jair Brown. And you even said before we even made the pick, because you were asking us what the pick is going to be, not necessarily the player, but what position. And you said safety. And you're like, see, I told you guys it's going to be safety. I told you guys. So, and keep in mind, there were only like 2 or 3 safeties I had watched. I heard this guy's name, but I didn't really watch him. But the word in camp is that he's built like a third-year player. He
Yep.
looks the part. He swarms around the ball in coverage. He looks like he's about to hit. You can't hit in minicamp practices, but he looks like he'll be in position to put on some big hits or even possibly get some interceptions. And he's looking the part. He's looking like the guy that we were supposed to draft. And he was supposed to be like a first-round talent. And a lot of people say he's a steal. So I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand. Listen, you don't really get no sample size until they put the helmet on and the pads. But it's encouraging to hear positive things coming out of camp. It's always encouraging to hear the reporters, the report for the Niners, come out and share on their channels about players, and they're speaking highly of this kid. He's a sinking missile. He hits hard. He's going to lay the wood. He can cover very well, and so that's promising to me. Because listen, as I don't know if and help me out with the name. Can't think of his name. The guy that we brought last year for a year, and then we re-signed him this year. Safety.
Tyshawn Gibson.
Tashawn Gibson. He had a wonderful year. He's been in the league. He's been bouncing around. He came with us because of Jimmy Ward getting hurt late. He came in. Thank you, Jess. And he stepped up. He played so good that even when Jimmy Ward was healed and came back, they put Jimmy as a slot corner because he was playing so well, but yet he's up there in age. And we know at the very least he's going to retire next year. I doubt it if he comes back again. And you never know. His playing may drop this year. I hope it doesn't. But if he does, now we have a safety there. They can team up with Hufanga. And a lot of people are referencing him like Hufanga. He's a lot like Hufanga. So imagine that back end. Brown and Hufanga for years to come.
Mm-hmm. And we like to interchange our safeties from time to time.
Yeah, we can go with three
he
sometimes.
did a lot of that at Penn State as well. So it's going to be exciting to see him. And I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm going to keep mentioning it until, and I know we're going to see it on the field eventually, is that he's another swarmer. What I mean by swarmer, like this, just like Hufanga, he can get off the line of scrimmage and blitz the hell out of the QB or even in the run game. We're going to be able to do that with Jair Brown as well, just like we do it with Hufanga. We got freaking, another heat-seeking missile, Fred Warner off the blitzes, Greenlaw, and then we even drafted a potential heat-seeking missile, D. Winters in college. So I'm ready to see it. And I keep saying Jonathan Wilkes. I know it's Steve Wilkes, ladies and gentlemen. I know that. But my brain keeps telling me Jonathan Wilkes because the guy who shot Abraham Lincoln, as sad as it is, his name's John Wilkes Booth. So my brain, when it hears that last name Wilkes, the first thing it refers to is Jonathan. But I know Steve Wilkes is going to really encourage blitzing a whole lot more than we did in the past, which is going to be a lot of fun, very exciting. And looks like he has his hands, and he's put his fingerprints over on the secondary now because he's like a secondary guru type guy. And there's another guy that we drafted. He's not a safety. He's a cornerback who I've been hearing a lot of good things about. Darrell Luter Jr., drafted in the 5th round from South Alabama, and I heard some good stuff about him in minicamp already.
Yeah. He's gonna definitely give Isaiah Oliver a run for his money, or even if not even Isaiah, Lenore a run for. Yeah, he's more on the outside. So, and that's another thing that I mentioned. Isaiah, I know he's not a rookie, but he's a free agent that we brought in that I've been hearing a lot of good things about too. And he's a big boy too. He's 6-something, so he's not going to be a small guy in the middle. So if a tight end comes in the middle, that boy can lay the wood, man. So that's going to be interesting to watch. This team is set, bro. This team is set. I love these rookies. Now they have to plan out and they have to be, have to play well. I mean, I was excited. I'm not going to lie. besides his injury history, when we drafted Kinlaw, I was fired up. But you know how that goes. So you can never go by the name or what they did in college until you see them on the red and gold. But there's a lot of promise with Brown. There's a lot of promise with Darryl Luther Jr. I like him a lot. I think this kid's going to be great. And, you know, and then there's running back. I was watching Grant Cohn the other day, and he was talking about, and I can't think of his name. I wrote it down.
It's Kalen LeBourne.
Kalen LeBourne. He says he's fast. He can break right through tackles. He feels that he's going to make this squad, and he brings this guy. I guess they call him the coach on Grant, and he kind of knows a lot about
the
this
coach
career.
on Grant Cohn's show. Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah,
I like to watch that for him, and you know, I know a lot of people are not Grant Cohn fans, and you know that's fine. But he does bring guests that I like to hear, and there's nuggets here. I love to listen to everybody. I'm open-minded to everybody. I take the good and I throw away the bad. That's just me. I just filter the ugly, what I don't think is good, but I don't block anybody because I love to hear everybody's opinion from a player. It's just like I want to hear his opinion. I want to hear everybody's. Real quick, look who came in, Bash. Our boy, our brother from another mother, Mr. Niner Fanatic Podcast. What's up, brother?
What up, Pete?
Pete is in the house. What's up, Pete?
One man, one camera, one mission.
That is Pete right there, bro. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
What's up, Pete? Welcome. Look at him right behind Pete. Look who came right behind
Welcome
Pete.
to the Terror Dome.
Welcome to the
Welcome to the Terror Dome. I will take you by your feet to a place you don't want to go.
I'll say this: when Terror Dome speaks, and he's a minister as well, but we love Terror Dome. By the way, earlier in the show, I mentioned congratulations to the Laker fans out there who are also Niner fans. And if you guys missed that, Terror Dome and Pete, go ahead and rewind it. You'll see me say that. But I love Terror Dome when he talks about the Niners or just anything in general because he's just so hyped up.
Epic fail.
Oh, whoa. You talking about me? What are you
No,
what
for
you
the
trying to
Cowboy
say?
right there. You can't see him?
Okay.
Number one Cowboy fan.
I was gonna say I love it when Terror Dome talks is just so inspirational and he captivates you with his words and his emotions and all that. I wish I could talk like him, but it's just not me. I don't think I could ever be that guy.
Yeah, no, he's awesome, man. He's awesome. He's a Laker fan. He's a Niner fan. Man, he's a minister. Minister of defense.
He played
He
defense.
will
He played
pray for
linebacker in college
you.
football.
He will slap the devil out of you. You just need to pay attention to my boy, Pterodon.
He'll slap
I
the
wish I had
devil out of
access
you.
to those funny voices, man. I'd be doing that the whole show. I'd just be clicking on those funny voices all show long. I'll say this. I mentioned DeJuan Jones earlier. How I was pounding the table for him when we were doing the live draft show. Terry Dunn was also in on the mix. So for DeJuan Jones, when I had him on my show and we talked about who we wanted. And so we were both pretty hyped up about him. And I remember he's like, when he came back on one of the shows after the draft, he's like, I wanted the 49ers to draft a menacing right tackle. I can't imitate this guy. I'm just trying my best kind of talk over him. And then he's like, but we didn't draft a menacing tackle.
That's
but
right.
we signed a menacing tackle in Joey Fisher. And speaking of Joey Fisher, a lot of people are hyped up about him.
Yeah.
He had some issues in his first mini camp. I guess, dehydrated. He was dehydrated and he was chugging down water and pouring water all over himself. It was only 74 degrees outside, but I don't know. Maybe he missed out something on his diet or whatever and messed up his body some way, somehow. So he's got to redeem himself for the next time he comes around. And I do believe in him because he's a mauler. He was throwing people around even though a small college, but he grew up watching Trent Williams, wants to be like Trent Williams. And I hope he can pan out and give us some great depth on our D line and O line and possibly challenge for a starting position. Because I'm not throwing all my eggs in one basket for McKivitz just yet. I got to see what he can do. But I love O line and I want to protect the quarterbacks. I don't know how you feel about the whole Joey Fisher and just what we're doing with the O line in general, though.
No, I like it. And to Joey Fisher, according to the guy that coached that came on the Grand Show, he said that he's been watching, following him. He says that Joey Fisher is at his best. How was the word he said? His best fit. He's not overweight. He has no fat on him. This guy is solid. He's in great shape. He's at his best shape ever. He just hasn't played football because I forgot things. He was doing some things and he hasn't played football or done anything or put on a helmet for the last 3 months. And it was his first time and he was all hyped up. Imagine you're undrafted. You want to impress. You're fired up and you overdo yourself and you get tired. I'm not worried. According to him, he's in great shape. There's nothing to worry about. I think this whole him just needs to drink more. What do you call it? Gatorade or you know what I mean? And Pedialyte dehydrated. But this kid, it looks like more and more they're going to put him as a guard. But he's a mauler. He can move people. He can throw people around. Maybe the move what's his name? Buford to tackle. But I'm not big on McKinnon either. But I'll tell you this, bro. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a big guy on Jake Brundle. Okay, when they were told us that Joe Brundle was going to be under center, and we didn't get a center, a lot of Niner fans, President included, I said, "What are they doing? Why are they not going after a damn center? They need a center. Why are they going with this guy? This guy's been in the league for too long. He's never started, and he was a alternate Pro Bowl. He wasn't the #1 pick, but he was an alternate pick for the Pro Bowl in his first year." He made some mistakes, but he did pretty good. So because of that, I'm going to tend to believe that McKivitz will play good at tackle until McKivitz shits the bed. And if he does that, then I'm like, you know what? We got to move on. But I'm going to give him credit to the Niners and to the staff because they proved me wrong with Brindle. Now, is Brindle this big-time center? No, but he's pretty good. And the offensive line played pretty well. And remember, we're going to have everyone back from last year except the right tackle. And so I'd rather deal with one position than deal with 3 positions in an offensive line. So I think they'll be able to handle it and put it together. McKivitz might hold it. And listen, at the end of the year, bro, if McKivitz plays better than McClinchy, this guy right here that is on the screen, Bash, better give him his flowers.
I will. I trust me, I will. And you read my mind because it reminded me of something else Terradome said on somebody else's podcast. I forgot whose it was, but I felt like Terradome and I shared the same exact thoughts about McKivitz because I was hooting and hollering back and forth with people on Twitter about the same thing because they were like, they were just completely 100% sold on McKivitz because of the endorsement that the team's given him. And you mentioned Jake Brendel. I get that because Brendel did surprise a lot of people. And I like the way he plays in general, but I just don't like the way he gets pushed back like crazy and gets overpowered from time to time. And I know I saw there was some pictures and some videos of Jake Brendel working in the weight room and working on his strength. So hopefully he takes his strength and whatever he can to the next level so he avoids getting pushed back the way I saw him get pushed back from time to time. But Terradome said something on this podcast that totally mimicked what I was saying in my back and forth Twitter wars about McKivitz. And it was, if McKivitz is so damn good, why wasn't he playing ahead of McGlinchey when we saw McGlinchey tossed around like a sack of potatoes against the Cowboys? Why wasn't he playing in that Eagles game when everybody was having their way with McGlinchey in that Eagles game? And Terradome literally said, if McKivitz was the answer, why wasn't he playing in those games? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm totally feeling you on this one. Hopefully McKivitz proves us wrong because I want to be wrong about this. If they're going to stick with him as a starting tackle for the whole season, I want to be wrong about this. I want him to be the freaking all-pro tackle that he should be, put that way. But we'll see. I love O-line. I just so passionate about offensive line. Maybe because I played it or whatever, but I want to protect the quarterback.
Preach it, brother. Hallelujah. My boy popped in right here. Laker Nation. Lakers in 6. I know a lot of people are.
I know I'm going to get bombarded with all the Lakers stuff. I knew it. I was expecting all this. All the Laker fans.
They don't give us enough respect. They don't give my boy LeBron enough respect. They're already saying, and not you, my brother. You're excluded. But a lot of Warrior fans, a lot of sour Warrior fans, oh, the Nuggets in 5 or the Nuggets in 4. And and I expect that, a lot of them are sore. They're bad losers. They can't handle it. So and they're rooting for the Nuggets. That's fine. But your boy, Draymond Green, on his podcast says Lakers in 6. He believes in the Lakers. So if anybody matches good with the Joker, it's definitely AD. Now the question is, can AD stay healthy?
Well, on paper, the Lakers, on paper, you can say that the Nuggets should have the series and they are the better matchup. But again, it's the quarterfinals. Anything can happen, and Lakers can get on a hot streak, and possibly it's not out of any realm of possibility for them to win the series. So, but I'm not putting any money on it or anything. I'm not a bettor, but and I'm not going to shut the Lakers out completely. But everybody's saying that they think Denver's just going to completely take the series. I'm not going to go that far and let me say Lakers have no chance. Everybody has a shot to win, so we'll see.
Exactly, and you'll get a take tomorrow. We'll find out a lot of which direction this might go on tomorrow's game. But even Draymond Green said that our Lakers coach, this guy's first year coach, and he looks in the playoffs. He made so much adjustments in the playoffs that he's
Coach Kerr.
Yeah,
Coach Kerr.
We got my girl. What's up? Stewart. She's a big Cowboys fan. You got to forgive her for that, but she loves the Lakers. So welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Lakers and Celtics. Listen, I can't stand the Celtics. I'm a Laker fan. In the rivalry there,
we beat them for you guys last year.
Yeah, I love that. And I rooted. People ask me, who did you root? I mean, listen, I don't like the Warriors, but I hate the Celtics. Okay, so sometimes, how does it go? The enemy, friend of my enemy. How does that saying go? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. There you go.
Okay.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I rooted for the Warriors last year. I wanted them to beat the Celtics, and they did. And I was rooting for the 76ers, and they had their opportunity, and they blew it. And credit to the Celtics. But listen, if anybody thinks the Celtics is going to just fly by the Heat, that Heat is playing with confidence. They're the 8 seed, took the number 1 seed out, and they're playing with confidence. So this Heat team, it's going to be tough for them, but I wouldn't ruin them out. This Heat team is playing with confidence, and Butler is playing. Jimmy is playing good, man. So who do you take in this series, real quick, on the Celtics and the Heat?
I'll be honest. I didn't watch those teams in their other series that they're playing in, but I'm thinking the Celtics are going to take this, and just for the fact that I followed the Celtics last year a lot more, and I like their squad in terms of the players they have. So, but you never know. I mean, hey, Jimmy Butler is a player as well, so I'm going to start watching the East Coast's playoff series now. So of course, because it means in the quarterfinals there. So.
Yeah, I always tell everybody basketball is my first love. NBA, then football. I love basketball.
Oh, really?
Football.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball's always been my second, but they're pretty
basketball.
close.
I love basketball. I always love to play it, love it. People. Somebody told me, he goes,
Could you ever dunk?
No, bro. No. I was a bit too heavy.
But you said that you were really skinny and athletic back in the day when you were like 6'5" or something.
I can't dunk, bro. Leave it alone. Moving on.
The most I could ever do was grab the rim, and I'm always 6 feet or 6'1" maybe on a good day.
Well, I'm 5'11", so.
I thought you were like 6'5" or 6'4".
No, I'm 5'11", bro.
Really? Okay. Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
No. I always say I'm 6'8", but that's not true. I'm 5'11" or 6 feet. If I lose about 5 pounds, I'll be 7.
The truth comes out, ladies and gentlemen.
The truth comes out.
Listen. I'm either 6'5" or 5'11". We're gonna meet, bro, and you're gonna see if I'm closer to 5'11" or 6'5". You'll be surprised.
Yeah,
you will be surprised.
I'll make pizza
bro.
one day.
I'll be able to put my elbow on your shoulder. Trust me. We know how. Have you? No. What? We know how. Bro, I'm not reading this. We now have you, shame.
Yeah, I think he meant to type something else.
It threw me off. Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting better at my reading. Hey, what's up, Tony Smith? Hello, family. I'm just here listening. Right on, brother. Right on. Talk about Jim Everett. Oh, he must have came
about
in here
Jim
and said
Everett.
hello. The Remilia, Mr. Rudy. So real quick, bro, as
Rudy
we'll
Poo.
bring into an end. Listen, we talked a little basketball. We've been talking a lot of the rookies they came in. Offensively, we talked defense. Who is your guy that you want to see really take off this year? It doesn't matter if they're rookie, if they're starters, or just who's the guy other than quarterback? Because we talked enough of quarterbacks. Who's the guy?
Joey's gonna love this one because it's kind of like a 1A and 1B because I
No, you
obviously
can only
want,
pick one. No 1A, 1B.
Can I only pick one?
Just one.
Well, I'm not sold on which. I want it to be somebody in the tight end position. All right, so either Latu or Braden Willis. So one of those guys. I just want somebody to step up as the number 2 tight end, and we don't have that debacle that we did last year where it's George Kittle and a bunch of no names. So pick and choose whatever tight end you want that to be because I can't think of one right now. But they say early on, Braden Willis really looks the part, and then Cameron Latu looks like a huge guy and looks way bigger than Kittle, and he looks like he might be able to run fools over and block people. So we'll see. I don't know. I wish I could pick between the 2 tight ends. I really, really can't right
Imagine
now.
if
One of those guys.
If Latu and Willis just kill it, bro. We have a 3 tight end jumbo.
I'll take it.
Bro. This honestly, the guy that I really want to see take off this year and blow everything. I want to see Brandon Ayuk do his thing, man. I want him to do his thing. I know he was a 1,000 yard receiver last year. That's amazing. I want to see him do this again. I don't want this to be a fluke. I want to see him consistency do it. People are like, yeah, but he's going to want more money. Hey, it is what it is. Whether we can keep him or not, we'll worry about that in the near future. That's something for us to talk next offseason. But for now, I would love to see him be the guy, that true receiver that we know he is. I love Brandon. Don't get me wrong. I love me Debo. Debo is amazing. I love them both. They're both on the team. But I love Brandon Ayuk, man. I think this kid is so underrated, and I think this kid's going to explode. But I like where you're going with the tight ends. I really do. If these guys if Willis or Latu can really step up and help out Kittle, oh my goodness. Especially, listen, I don't know about you. We're not going to get into quarterbacks that we got into, but Kittle's not going to say it out loud, but he likes Brock because Kittle's numbers went hella up and touchdowns when Brock took over.
Oh, they did. He finally found. It's like for years, like people always say, "Oh, Kelsey's the best tight end in the NFL, and he's way better than Kittle." And Kelsey would always find his way in the end zone, right?
Yep.
No matter, and you can make the argument Kelsey plays with the best quarterback in the league, so of course he's going to look better than Kittle. But I mean, Kittle never really had a knack for the end zone prior to. But throwing Brock Purdy. Whoa, Kittle's a red zone threat, and Kittle's getting touchdowns in the red zone. Really quick about Ayuk, you mentioned him. I mean, the part of one big reason why I want Lance to play is just the factor of the deep ball. The deep ball will be in the offense, and we'll finally be able to see Ayuk come because I've seen Ayuk open on plenty of deep routes, but never really get the ball thrown to him deep. And you can say that for a lot of other receivers. Just the deep ball aspect of this offense could definitely be a big thing. Potentially. So we'll see that goes in regards to whoever wins the quarterback position, whoever becomes our quarterback. So should be fun.
Yeah, this team. What's up, Mike H? Welcome to the channel, my brother. Good to see you. Yeah, bro. I can't wait to see how this team's gonna look in 2023. You got McCaffrey coming back. You know what I mean? And yeah, I know. I'm keeping an eye on that.
Beto, random question.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of a song by the name of La Chona?
Yes.
Does it make you laugh? Or
yeah, I mean it can, depends, but
I just think it's a funny song. I just think it's a funny
Oh, really?
song. Yeah, well, I didn't know it was funny until I found out the meaning of the song afterwards, and then I saw the video for it. It was even funnier. So
there's one that I listened to yesterday. It's by Angela Aguilar, which is Pepe Aguilar's daughter, and it's called La Llorona, and it's I heard it. I heard it on the Mayans. I was watching the Mayans season 4 because the new Mayans. I don't know if you're into Mayans or not, but the new season comes out on May 24th, which I'm excited about. The final season, and they play that song on there, and I'm like, oh, that song is awesome. So, but no, La Chona, it's funny. You know, if you don't completely understand it, you know, it's hilarious. But I like the meanings of it too.
Sorry
it's
to go
cool.
off topic. It's just the thought that literally the tune was popping in my head.
When's the last
And
time you
I
heard it? It must have been
last time I
recent.
heard- Yeah, probably. Well, I didn't even know what the Mayans was. I had to look that up. I guess it's on Hulu. It's a spinoff of Sons of Anarchy or something
Yeah,
like that. I never
yeah.
watched it, Sons of Anarchy either, but I heard it was
Really?
good. No,
It-
one of my
it's
friends
se-
really likes it.
It's 7 seasons, right? And I've gone
really?
through the 7 seasons 10 times already. Of the Sons. That's how much I love it. I watched it
Really
all
quick.
7 seasons 10 times.
I know we've been on here for what? How long?
Yeah,
Over
we're
an
gonna
hour.
end
Okay,
it.
We just
We're-
hit the hour mark. Really quick. What about Drake Jackson? Do you have any thoughts about him? Are you excited about him? See what he can do.
Drake Jackson.
Our second round pick last year,
No,
defensive end out of USC.
yeah, I know who he is.
Okay.
No, I was just telling myself. Laura says La Chona. Let's see here. Drake Jackson. This is what I heard from Coach Steve Wilkes. He said he's been practicing in at the facility all off season. That means he didn't go on vacation. He didn't go and hang out with his friends. He stood at the facility and worked out. And he says he gained weight, and that doesn't mean fat.
upper
It
body
means
strength. Upper body weight, yeah.
strength. So this kid knows that this is, they got him. The first bag is never nothing. It's the second bag you're looking for if you want to get yourself comfortable and be successful. Not only successful, but be secure financially. And this kid wants to show himself. I love what he saw. I love what I saw from him last year. He kind of winded down towards the end of the year. I think he's hasn't played that many games or that long of a season. He was interviewing and he was doing all these things for all these teams before he got drafted. So all that kind of took place. Now he has the whole off season, and they said that defensive end, you always want to see how they do it the second year. Even if they impress you the first year or not, you always want to go by the second year. So I am excited to see this kid. Listen, as we close, we have Bosa, we have Hargrave now, and we have Eric Armstead. Okay, now if we can get great play from Drake Jackson, this front four is going to be freaking. It's going to be better than 2019. Excuse me, ever was, and I'm fired up for that. So and the thing is, the pressure's not really on Drake Jackson because all the double coverage is going to be taken on Bosa and Hargrave. So he's going to get a lot of one-on-one. So he better take advantage of that and win it. So I'm fired up, bro. I'm excited. But with that concludes our show for the NWO. Everybody that joined us tonight, you guys are the true heroes, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Anything you want to say before we go, bro?
Oh yeah, really quick about Drake Jackson. So they drafted him because they loved his bend. He hit the rookie wall last year, right? And we were all wondering why wasn't he playing in games? And I guess his body couldn't handle the rigors of a long season. And we played more than 17 games. They extended the regular season by one more game, and then we had the playoffs. So we were kind of disappointed towards the end why he wasn't playing. So hopefully, Larry Krueger also, if you watch him, he's a former NFL scout. He says that a lot of NFL players take their biggest jump from year 1 to year 2. So hopefully we see that big jump in him. Hopefully he grabs the bull by the horns and says, hey, I'm going to be that featured pass rusher opposite of Bosa. So it's his time to shine, and I'm pumped up for it. Let's see it.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for those that are popping in at the last minute, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for joining us. We'll be live next Monday. I believe it's going to be on your channel. So make sure you're subscribed to 49er Minded. And make sure to hit the notification and check us out next Monday at 6 p.m. on my boy's channel. Until then, we are out of here. Peace, and we'll see you later.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now. Live certified.